Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Brad's Vlog. So I did the empathic interfacing live this morning and it was a wonderful turnout. Had a really great time communicating with the being known as Athena, who is of the Delphi. If you guys haven't checked that out, just go to the previous video before this one and you can check it out. It was a really great interaction. I had a great time with everybody asking their questions, so I had a lot of fun. So there's a couple of updates that I'm going to be giving here in the vlog. One of the key updates, or I would say the main topic, is the idea about accelerative healing. That's what I'm going to be talking about today. But I'm also going to be talking about another thing afterwards, and that is going to be a brand new, profound transitional shift that's going to be happening with my work as we move into 2019. So I'll be getting into that very shortly. So again, what happened, I went for a little camping trip just on the weekend here previously to Salt Spring Island. And I was camping overnight, had this really beautiful spot, kind of similar to how I did camping a few weeks ago as well too. I went to the same camping spot and I was just lighting up a fire, had a really nice roaring fire. I was just enjoying myself. The evening was perfect. It was a clear night sky. And I had like a small little axe with me because I was chopping a little bit of wood. And I was basically just in a space of the dark. I thought I had enough light just to go over and put my axe away. And as I stood up, I started walking, and there was a very large stone that was sticking out of the ground. And as soon as I took a step forward, my whole left foot twisted, and I just fell to the ground. And after saying about 20 cuss words, I finally got back up, like, oh, Jesus, just, freaking out. But then I was just finally starting to calm down and saying, it's all right, just, try and nurse it back to health, trying to walk it off. So it was really painful. I was having a very hard time even walking. But of course, when it first happens, it doesn't seem so bad. But I'm just like, I'm tuning and tapping into the energy. I'm seeing how much this energy is going into my foot and saying, oh my God, my foot is going to be really stiff, really swollen, really sore in the morning, right? And I was just trying to get my bearings back together. And so I slept in my tent, but I couldn't really get any sleep. I was basically up for about 4 or 5 hours before I could even get back to sleep. So I was just wondering, oh, what am I going to do? My car's very far away. I'm like, have all these hills and bumps, and I can barely walk on this foot. What am I going to do? And so it wasn't until the next morning when I awoke and I realized there's something important here. There's a message relating to this injury of my foot. And it was something very important that I had to realize, is that as a healer, and this happens to a lot of healers that I've talked to as well too, when you really get into your craft when it comes to healing, you're going to be tested, right? You're going to really put a lot of your skills, your talents, your techniques to work. And this is really what it was entailing, is saying that, before I was going to Salt Spring, I was kind of debating about, should I move back to Salt Spring Island? Should I move back to Vancouver Island? Because I was like, I really don't like this city. I really don't like it. I don't know why Spirit wanted me to come back to this city. I was so happy on the island. And there's so much of me that wants to go back to that, right? But again, shortly after that happened, then of course I had this twisting sprain of my ankle. And so I woke up and I realized that this was something that was testing me, that I was really looking into kind of going through my own testament as a healer and being able to go to work on this and saying, how well can I nurture myself? How well can I mother myself? Because what I've been doing is I've been so convoluted in my mind ever since I moved. I haven't really been able to give myself much peace. And so this has basically been kind of like an emotional situation for me when I decided to go back to the city and again start to have a new change of venue here. I was kind of dreading it a little bit because I was like really missing my old home in Arrington when I had the big 40-foot trailer, and there was nature around me, and I had my own little campsite as well too, and I was just in love with the whole space. And then previously when I was on Salt Spring, I was in love with that space as well too. It was just so peaceful, so quiet. But Spirit was really saying to me, flat out, You're not meant to be in a space that's quiet anymore. You need to be where it's busy. You need to be where there are people. You need to build your foundation to helping others, through your teachings, through what you're going to be offering as well too. But you have to remember to follow your own teachings as well too. And so hence moving on to this sprained foot that I have. Good news is I'm recovering pretty much now. I'm about 90% better. So there's just that last little 10% where basically when I'm walking, there's a little bit of a limp, but it's not too bad at all. But that was my intention. When I woke up the next morning, I was saying, you know what, I'm gonna work with this. I'm gonna work on this injured ankle. And so I had my tent set up. I had like a foamy inside the tent. I had my pillows. I had my blankets. I had my sleeping bag. I had all my supplies around the campsite as well too. And so I just became innovative, and I was just, almost like hopping on one foot. But I was able to get a little bit of stability with my ankle. There was no like gigantic branches or anything that I could use as like a cane or a crutch. There was nothing like that around. So I was basically just walking very, very gingerly on the foot. And I just kept telling myself, don't feed the pain, right? Don't give in to the pain. Give pain no power. Give pain no power. And when I was actually starting to go into that trance, because I was going to theta, there really wasn't any pain. That was the interesting thing. I had a really sore foot, and it was swollen as well too, quite swollen. But as I walked, I just kept saying that. I said, don't give in to the pain, right? Give pain no power. And as I did that, I was noticing that I was actually able to move pretty well, and just started to pack up all my stuff, went over to my car and put the stuff into the trunk. And then I was able to kind of back my car up a little bit and got a little bit closer. But again, there was kind of like a very steep hill for me to climb back up and for me to go back down. And basically it was going back down that was more the challenging part. But I just kept saying that in my mind. I said, give pain no power, give pain no power, give pain no power. This is what I tell people, right? I got to follow through with this as well too. I have to make this a testament to myself. If I want to be a healer, I can't just dick around and start telling people to do all this stuff when I'm not willing to do it myself. That would make me the most ultimate hypocrite there is, and I'm not going to do that, right? I am going to really nurture myself. I'm going to nourish myself. I'm going to take all of these forms of teachings that Adronis has given me, that the universal mind has given me, that I've heard from other people, what they're doing as well too, and I'm going to combine these, and I'm going to make this happen. And I'm going to heal my foot in less than 5 days, right? And now it's day 3, and it's 90% better. So that was basically my intention, was just to, before I get to the next weekend, my foot's going to be 100% better again, right? And it was nasty. It was a big swollen foot. It wasn't right on the ankle. I don't know, it wasn't on the ankle joint. It was kind of just around it, but every time I stepped, I would feel it just surging through the ankle joint altogether. But the swollen area was just a little bit further above the ankle. Of course, I can't really show it to you on camera. It's actually, the swelling's gone down a lot right now. So it's only a little bit swollen now, but I'm able to walk on it pretty good. But again, I was, going through this testament of saying, you know what, I'm a healer. I do this healing work. I tell people this is exactly what you do. I've done, some basic healing with the EQ method, light circuitry, hands-on healing as well too. And it's just about me being able to make sure that I'm being the nurturer and I can nourish this. And I say, I'm going to put this to the test. I'm going to fully demonstrate this. And when that came into my mind, I'm like, I'm very thankful I had this injury. Right? I'm very, very thankful that this swollen foot actually happened. Because like I said, when it happened, oh my God, I was like cussing a blue streak. I felt like a sailor at sea. Right? So again, I was just there's a little camp stove where I had, or I should say like a little fire pot, whatever they call it, the campsites, where you have a fire. And I was just getting up, and then there was this big, just kind of sedimentary rock sticking right out of the ground, and then my left foot just caught it, and it was like this, and it twisted, right? And I could actually hear something, twisting, the ligaments in my foot twisting. Thankfully, there was no broken bones or anything like that. But again, my strategy was to give pain no power. Give pain no power. With each step I take, I am more well. With each step I take, I am healthy. So I'm creating these very strong affirmations, and I go deeply into them. And I go into theta, and I start just saying that. I give pain no power. With each step I take, I am healthier. With each step I take, I am healthier. And this is what I suggest everybody to do, right? If you're going through a very harsh injury, if you broke your arm, if you hurt your elbow, hurt your foot, whatever it may be, some sort of physical pain in that way, just remind yourself, don't give pain power, right? That's the same thing with your emotions as well, too. Don't give those painful emotions power, right? You just want to look at it. And that's kind of what I was doing. I was looking down at my foot, saying, okay, I got this. I know I have this, injury, but I'm not going to let it dominate me. I'm not going to let it control me. I'm not going to go into anguish. I'm not going to hit the ground and say, oh, son of a bitch, I should have been more careful, and I shouldn't have done this, etc. That just puts you into a pit of despair. And that's just you going into your own personal hell, and that's going into your anguish. And we don't want to do that. We want to work in being able to be beyond the limitations of the body, even beyond the limitations of the mind, and just coming into pure spiritual wholeness. And we're just even moving beyond that thought, where we're just in the impression that we're floating. It's like we're floating above our body, and now our body is just moving, right? It's like we're the puppets. We got the strings, and we're just letting our body move without us being affected by the pain body, right? By the mental anguish, by the physical anguish, by the emotional anguish. We raise above that. We come back into the spiritual aspect. And again, that was my intention. And after I got everything into my car, again, it took 3 trips, and I was like, oh my God, I did it. I did it. And it wasn't that bad. It wasn't so bad at all. I was just focusing on don't give pain power, right? That was my mantra. And again, that was me just kind of floating above, still in my body, but again, still in the mentality of just floating above, going beyond the pain mind, going beyond the pain body, and just floating in spiritual bliss and saying, it's okay, right? And this is when I said this afternoon, when I was doing the empathic interfacing. So I told people that I injured my ankle, and I said, you know what? I'm happy it happened. I'm happy it took place. I'm actually happy that my foot was injured. And I was like, my God, Brad must love pain or something like that. Oh yeah, go ahead and hit me over the head with a chair right now, it'll be fine. No, that's not what I mean. It's the idea that this, again, is a testament to yourself as a healer, right? Now, a lot of good healers I've talked to have had some sort of serious injury as well, too. People have had injured backs, people have had broken legs, people have had broken arms. There seems to be some type of karmic aspect of testament to yourself when this takes place, when you're, again, really doing your healing work. Some people have told me, well, Brad, this is just for you, taking it easy, just rest for a bit and, take it easy and just let nature walk through. Let nature take its course. Elevate yourself, maybe do the rice method and just relax and do nothing. I said, sorry guys, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit on my ass and do nothing. Not going to happen. That's not how I work. Do I take rest times? Absolutely. Do I, take some times to stop and smell the roses? Of course, absolutely. That's why I go on camping trips and do that. So this is not about me sitting on my butt and just elevating my leg and putting ice on it and just grumbling that this happened. That's not how I work at all, and I won't ever do that. So tough. Really what this was telling me, again, is it was a testament. I was even just going into my own intuition. I was even looking at the tarot as well, too, from what it was telling me. And it was exactly what I was feeling it was. It was all part of a testament of being a healer, to see how well you can nurture yourself when you're injured. So this has happened to you. What are you going to do about it? Are you just going to go into bed, grumble about it, just put a bunch of ice and elevate your ankle to your heart, and then just continue to grumble about it more? Right? And get your rest and get ice and get compression and get elevation and do nothing. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. So with me, it's the idea, yes, you're getting a good night's sleep at night. You're not going hardcore, and you're not, trying to demand your ankle do all these crazy things. But what you're doing is you're working together in a state of a nurturing. What you're doing right now is it's time for you to nurture yourself. It's time for you to nourish your body. It's time for you to nourish your mind. It's time for you to nourish your emotions. That's the key here. And this is what I've noticed just by having this entire injury. And like I said, this injury was one of the greatest blessings that came to me because I've learned so much from it. And that's what it's taught me. So really think twice about the idea when a person gets injured, They just need to sit and do all these things that are preventing them from actually being able to connect with their body and being able to nourish and nurture themselves, right? Like a mother to themselves. And when I feel that you miss that opportunity, you're missing a really great teaching that's coming about. So what I would suggest to people who are injured is spend time with the body. Start talking to it. Start making your entire situation of injury painless. Give it absolutely no fire of pain whatsoever. Basically tell it that, I'm not going to feed you pain. What I'm going to do is I'm going to feed you nourishment. I'm going to nurture you back to health. And I'm going to be the best person to do that. Obviously, if there's some sort of debilitating injury, maybe we will have a helper. Maybe we'll have an assistant that'll help us out in that way, and that's great. But again, the whole idea is that you're doing your own part to making yourself feel nourished, to feel nurtured again. And this is really what my testament was as a healer, to say, what can I do when I have an injury like this? And can I start to work on nurturing and nourishing myself back to health? And this turns into accelerative healing. So Brad, what did you do to help repair your foot? Good question. So what I did use is I did use some technological aspects, and I did use some of my own techniques as well too. So my own techniques, light circuitry, body regeneration series. Those are two of the things that I used altogether. Again, thirdly would be affirmations, right? Just affirmations of certainty also. Other things I used was I have a portable infrared sauna in my house. So I basically just plug that in and I sit in there for half an hour at 150 degree Fahrenheit. Now, again, if you guys haven't used infrared sauna, I wouldn't suggest diving into that right away. Start off small, right? Start off with shorter intervals, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe at 130 or 140 Fahrenheit, but just really nurture yourself and transition yourself into the higher times. I've been using my portable sauna now for a little over a year, so I've been able to move up into the half-hour range. So I did that, and that was major improvement, right? It just felt really, really good. I never used ice once, never used any ice. I said, I'm not going to use ice. Not at all, right? There was even my ego was saying, Brad, maybe you have to get some drugs in you. Maybe you have to get some ibuprofen. Maybe you need to get some Advil, aspirin. I'm like, no, not a chance. So I was definitely not into doing any particular over-the-counter drugs. I was not into doing ice and everything. And again, if a person wants to use an ice pack for a few minutes to bring their swelling down, that's up to you. I leave that to you guys. I'm only just sharing what I decided to do in this particular situation. I wanted to feel the swelling. I wanted to feel the pressure that was coming upon my foot. So the only thing I used as a kind of apparatus was a supporter, right? Just basically those little ankle supports that you put on it, and basically helping with compression. Compression, I certainly agree with. That's a good thing to have. But like I said, I used the ankle support. I used the infrared sauna. I also did. I have a grounding mat here as well too. So I used a grounding mat for about 8 hours a day, and I even did a couple sessions with the PEMF mats. Okay, actually, sorry, just one session with the PEMF mat. And that was pretty helpful as well too. Now, pulse mats are pretty expensive, so if you do have maybe a friend that you can get one, or just borrow one, whatever it is, that's a good thing. But it is kind of pricey. But I have, of course, my friends upstairs have a pulse mat, so I was able to go on there for about 20 minutes with a kind of mediocre, I would say, type of intensity. So that helped a little bit. But most of the healing came from light circuitry, the infrared sauna, and of course meditation and working together with affirmations, and of course the body regeneration. So that was really, really helping me. And I just told myself every single night I went to sleep, I put a light circuit on my ankle, and I just said, my foot will heal, my foot will be fully healed and restored as I sleep. Okay? So I said that mantra about 5 times just before going to sleep. I'd wake up the next morning, foot felt lighter, right? The swelling went down majorly. Like I said, it's only been about 3.5 days since I had this injury. And the first night it was about 50% better. The second night it was about 75% better. And this morning, about 90% better. So by tomorrow, I should probably be able to walk on this foot and do my work, no problem. So that's been my journey. Just looking at this as a testament, as a test really, a trial for yourself to say, you're a healer. Let's see how well you do when you're injured. What are you going to do? If you all of a sudden you hurt your foot, you hurt your ankle, you hurt your arm, you hurt your back, what are you going to do? What are you telling other people to do? Why aren't you doing it? Right? So that was really my own trial in that way to take care of this. So lo and behold, I have gone through some incredible accelerative healing. This is by far the worst sprained foot I've had, I think, in my life. The other ones I had never puffed up as big as this one did. So this one was definitely, I would say, at least one of the worst. And so I've had some sprained ankles, some sprained tendons, some sprained ligaments when I was a kid, doing track and field, doing sports as well too. So I've had quite a few sprained ankles, but the way this one happened was one of the worst ones I ever had. And within 3.5 days, it's 90% better. So again, this is the power of your will. This is the power of your intention to making this feeling of nourishment and nurturing of your body prominent, so that you're able to really feel the difference as this takes place. So that's my story as it relates to recovering from this injury. And again, really looking into the karma that many of us healers go through. And this is in that sense kind of a voluntary karma, because the whole idea in that sense about how we're breaking the barrier, right? When we're hurt, are we just going to complain about it? Are we going to whine about it? Or are we actually going to step up and we're going to take into account what we teach other people to do and do it ourselves, so that we know how well this will work? And that really is the message that came through to me. Now that this has happened, what are you going to do? Are you going to nurture it? Are you going to take care of it? Are you going to nurture it back to health? Or are you going to sit and complain, right? So I chose the former, nurture it back to health. So the second announcement I'm going to share in this vlog as well too is about the transition of my work as I move into the new year. So really what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be creating full-time videos on YouTube. So my intention is to basically have a new video that I'll launch every single day from Monday to Friday, right? So have about 5 videos per week. I'm going to be going through the schedule over the holidays. So this will be effective in January. So after January 1st, then I'm going to start putting out this new full-time schedule for my YouTube channel. A lot of it is going to be like the Adronis Top 3. That's going to be on a weekly basis. The Earth Intelligence Report will be coming on a weekly basis as well too. There will be Brad Johnson's vlog, of course. Self-promotion. And of course, there will be a few other ones that I'm working on right now. There will be a new show called Inner Practices. And this will be an episode where you'll be able to perform inner practices that I'm actually getting from the universal mind, and helping yourselves to really work out these practices. And then we're going to have some interaction involved with that as well too. So I'm going to be giving you guys inner practices for you to do, inner assignments for you to do as well too. And of course there'll be some more interactive shows to come. Empathic interfacing will still continue. I'm not too sure if that'll be weekly or monthly. But again, I got a lot of these new ideas coming forward, and I really want to bring the YouTube channel into a greater height. So I'm kind of measuring to see exactly what videos are getting more popular through the channel, and just being able to showcase that as much as I can, because really a lot of what I want to do is being able to make my private sessions less and less and less, and more of my time to do content more and more and more and more. So that's really the goal here. And so whether it's me getting sponsors, whether it's me getting donations from you guys, whether it's the ads that I'm getting through these videos, whatever it is that's helping me to get supported, that's what I'm completely open to. But I really want to make this channel full-time for all of you, so you guys have all this free content that you can access. Again, you can interact with me as well too, because we'll have some live streams as well too, both on YouTube and Facebook also. So that's really going to be my intention, is to really step up New Earth Teachings to be a YouTube content platform full-time. So again, I still am doing sessions right now, and I still will be doing sessions until further notice. So I'm basically doing my new session schedule is going to be Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Okay, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is going to be going towards my video creation time and putting together these kind of new content packages on YouTube and elsewhere through social media that is freely accessible. So again, I still will have private sessions here for a while yet. Once I see that the content on my channel is doing even better, and I'm able to really kind of live off the ads or sponsors or donations, etc., then I'll be able to do YouTube full time, and the sessions themselves will go gone, right? But there will be some group interactions that I'll be doing, so I'll still be helping a lot of you guys as well too. Like I said, tons of content is going to come, and this is really the start of the new year. My year of disclosure is completely buffing up my YouTube channel full time. And this is actually something I've wanted to do for quite some time. I've wanted to kind of transition out of the private sessions as much as I love doing them. I love my private sessions, don't get me wrong. I love communicating one-on-one with people with Adronis, but I want to be able, again, to reach out more, to reach out with more people and doing kind of more group-based work as well, too. So this is where it's giving myself that opportunity to do it. Again, Akashic Record sessions, private sessions, even the products that are on New Earth Teachings will still be there. And like I said, I'll still be doing my sessions part-time until further notice. So people will come up to me and say, Brad, are you done your sessions? You're not going to do your sessions anymore? I said, no. I'm still doing them. When I'm not doing them, you guys will know, right? I'll tell everybody. So, okay, guys, the sessions are done, and now I'm doing YouTube full-time. And there's another project I'm looking to create as well, too, but that is phase 2. So phase 1, beefing up my YouTube channel full-time. Phase 2 will be another project that I'm going to be bringing in other people with. So people are going to work together with me, and we're going to create a brand new platform. Now that is phase 2, so that will be a little bit a ways away yet, but that will be my second plan, and people will be working together with me, and we can make this into something of a very strong spiritual entrepreneurial business together. So that would be in phase 2. But again, more information on that probably in the next little while. So anyways, guys, this is my vlog. This is my update with this story, and of course, updates on the YouTube channel. And I'm really looking forward to really hammering out some new details and making this a full-time channel. And it's all thanks to you guys. I'm really, really appreciative. I'm so thankful that I have such amazing people here on this channel that are continuing to support the work I do. And again, the more that you can continue to support the work I do for right now, can either be by donation or again, just going ahead and ordering a private session or product. This helps me to continue to do what I do, to continue to love what I do. And again, new amazing things are going to happen. So again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, click on the subscribe button, click the bell icon, and of course, give this video a thumbs up and share it, pass it on. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now. Namaste, and take care.